Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we're going to be continuing Naruto Polaris, The Fallen Star. What if Hanabi Hyuga was born first? The Momoshiki arc, part 22. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that's come out now and in the future. First and foremost, with yesterday's video, you guys did not just hit that like goal, you all obliterated. I am deeply touched and thankful that you all enjoyed the pilot episode. That is why we will be continuing the series with a season 1 of What If Madara Uchiha was reincarnated in Konosuba. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who showed that video love and support. Now with this series, as we continue on and going forward into the Boruto era projects, I'm mainly going to be focusing on primary arcs. I'm not going to cover every arc in Boruto since a lot of it is filler, but I will be covering a few filler arcs that do and will have significant roles in the story going forward. So you'll just see as we move on. But anyway, we're going to be continuing with the Momoshiki arc properly as we go into part 22 of the series. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki, along with their sensei Konohamaru, walked into the Hokage's office after completing yet another mission. A couple of bears had gotten out of the zoo's pen somehow and were running amok through the village, although thankfully they were cornered and captured without any real incident or worry. Boruto thinking that this was a pretty useless way of their talents, if this was the biggest situation they could deal with at the moment. However, the Hidden Leaf were going through a lot of cutbacks at the time. Missions weren't coming around as often as they used to. Of course, there were always going to be things that had to be taken care of around the village that didn't deal with combat or life or death situations. After all, a ninja mission could be something as finding a lost cat to an assassination, and everything in between. Boruto walking in nonchalantly as Naruto looked up from his desk, Shikamaru also looking through the last of the paperwork, as they had some other matters that they were going to have to attend to soon, but getting another mission report was nothing to worry about. Boruto would brag about the success of the mission, believing that he could have took care of it himself without the need of a team. Come on, Boruto, you know that teamwork is important. It's one of the primary building blocks of being a ninja. Yeah, Dad, I get that, but with all due respect, Konohamaru-sensei is a special jonin. He's allowed to go on missions by himself sometimes when he needs to, so it's not like teamwork is always important. Well, you do have a point there, but that's only for special circumstances. And even then, it's not like I do it just because I have that much faith. It's also because of the fact that there are some skills that require a one man's touch. But even still, if I can give them teammates, I want to do so. Well, what about you, Dad? You're the strongest in the whole village. There's nothing that could hurt you. Thanks for the vote of confidence, but still, I wouldn't have gotten where I was if it wasn't for teamwork. Your mother's a testament to that. Ain't that right, Shikamaru would say. Naruto would give Shikamaru a glare, knowing the joke he was trying to throw at them, but thankfully Boruto just let it fly over his head. As they did so, a new individual would walk into the room, a member of the Konoha Science and Technological Department, that being Kotatsuke. He had already finished the development of his newest invention, one that Boruto and the others had gotten a chance to see, and he was looking to see how the prototype was doing. Oh, here you go. Konohamaru would hand him back the Kota, the scientific ninja tool capable of replicating any ninjutsu sealed inside of it. You use that in the field? Naruto would ask. Yeah, I captured one of the bears using the shadow possession jutsu from Big Brother Shikamaru. It actually is pretty effective. Really now? Yes, Lord Seventh. Our work has been revolutionary. I think it's time for you to give serious consideration for using it in the field. No. What? No. I'm not putting these out in the field. These things are extremely dangerous. The power of a shinobi should be gained through hard work, not by using some tool. I understand, Lord Seventh, but you should look at it from a bigger picture. There's no bigger picture. There's nothing to look at and there's nothing to discuss here. We're not implementing them into the field, Katsuki. In fact, outside of the prototype, I don't even want it being replicated. Understand? Don't you think that's a little harsh, Dad? Boruto, there are some things you wouldn't understand. Yeah, but still, it's his hard work. I think you should at least give him a chance. No. Young lord, it's fine. Your father, he's only looking for the best interest of the village, I suppose. Or maybe just himself. What was that? Naruto would say. All I'm saying, Lord Seventh, you won't always be around to protect the village. In case you've forgotten, there are people who are still scarred by the events of the last Great War. If you wish to handicap everyone else, that's fine, so that you can sit alone on top of the mountain. Although, what should I expect from a Hokage? Stealing the spotlight and being the center of attention is what you're all known for. Naruto was prepared to say more, but Shikamaru calmed his friend. For Boruto, he wondered why he would say such things to get under his skin. But all that mattered, in the end, it wasn't really that important. All the same, Boruto would remind Naruto that tonight was Himawari's birthday, and to make sure that he didn't miss it. Naruto would nod as he and his friends would leave for the day. Well, that was definitely something, Shikamaru would say. Yeah, I really didn't mean to get so worked up in front of Boruto, but he really got under my skin, you know. Yeah, the guy has a tendency not to be as tactful as he should, but at the same time, what? You don't actually agree with him, do you? Come on, you of all people should understand. If we let these things go out into the general public, then it's only going to create more chaos. If power is just so gained that easily, then all hard work will be lost. To an extent, I do agree with you, Naruto. There are some things that just can't substitute training. But at the same time, you do have to be more practical. What do you mean? Well, Naruto, not everyone in the world is blessed with your strength, or your wife's, or even Sasuke's. The simple fact of the matter is that during the Great War, if you all hadn't been around, we would have lost. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. How do you think everyone else felt? And also, the reason why many more shinobi are retiring early, or just not becoming shinobi at all. I mean, your son's graduation class was one of the lowest that we've had in history of the village. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I mean, I'm not trying to force people to be ninja if they don't want to be. But at the same time, this is the price for the peace we fought for, Naruto. If we all want a peaceful world, then it's going to come at a cost. I mean, if everyone had understanding and got along, then would there really be a need for ninja? This is what would be on Naruto's mind. In the meanwhile, Boruto had stopped by Thunderburger to get something to eat. He had already had a long day, and this was his lunch before the dinner party that night. He met with Shikadai, Inojin, and Hachimaru. Hachimaru, who had been a transfer student during Boruto's final year in the academy, he was training to become a ninja like everyone else, although he had some setbacks. He was born with a birth defect that caused him to lose his left leg at the kneecap and to lose most of his left arm to his shoulder. Although thankfully, because of the medical science and the advancements that had been found in the village, he was given a prosthetic arm and a prosthetic leg. Also, with some help from the Hidden Sand Village and the usage of their puppet prosthetics, he was able to find something that worked for him. Now, it did have its own fair share of challenges and difficulties, but he was able to make do. The four boys would enjoy their lunch as they talked amongst themselves about what they had been going through. For Inojin and Shikadai, they had been talking about their experiences being a part of their team, Team 14, along with Chocho Akamichi. And as for Hachimaru, he was on a team with another one of their friends, that being Hoki along with Siren Haruno, members of Team 0. "How's your new arm doing?" Boruto would ask. "It's actually not too bad. I was able to work out the kinks from the old arm. You know, it had a tendency to kind of lock up a bit whenever I tried to bend it forward." "I'm surprised you were able to work on it on your own." "Yeah, well, we don't really have the funds at home to, get all of the fancy stuff. I mostly have to work with the scraps I can collect and what I make from my savings. But still, it's able to work out pretty effectively. Although, I do hope I could put it to its paces. There's a lot more I want to try out, but I can't really use it right now." "Why not?" Boruto would ask. "Well, you know the rules. We can't really use ninja tech, or at least none of that fancy stuff. But yours is homemade." "Yeah, but still, you gotta follow the rules one way or another." "But that's not fair. I don't think it's wrong if you're using what you made at least." "It's fine, Boruto. Don't worry about it. I'm still doing just as good with what I've got. I know if I put in the hard work, I can reach where I want to go. I just have to try a lot harder." "Yeah, but still, don't ever push yourself. If you lose that arm and leg, then you're not really going to have anything else to work with." "You guys worry too much. Don't worry. I'm going to be A-okay. Trust me." Hachimaru would smile as he took another bite of his burger. For Boruto, though, he felt bad for his friend. His father, he was a bit too old school for his liking. At the very least, if they couldn't use any of the advanced ninja tech being made, they could at least make their own and use it. Sarah would find Boruto finally, as she wanted to discuss with him the upcoming Chunin exams. Boruto hadn't really thought much about it, or about competing in it. They seemed, I don't know, kind of out of his league in a way. Boruto always figured he could just get a self-promotion if he really tried. No real need to extend the effort. But for Sarah, they had to compete as a three-man team, otherwise she wouldn't be allowed to participate. And well, even if Boruto wasn't going to try, she didn't want to be held back. She had dreams of being Hokage. Well, Boruto wasn't doing anything, so why not give it a chance? Before arriving home, though, Boruto would stop and pick up some things for Himawari's party. His mother, he hoped, would be home as well. Hanabi had been one of the lead medical scientists, a part of Konoha's new medical division. Her revolutionary medical techniques with the aid of her Byakugan was known all throughout Konoha and throughout the ninja world. It was because of Hanabi's efforts that she had convinced more members of the Hyuga clan to get involved in medical science. After all, the Byakugan was the perfect tool for peering inside of the human body. As such, being able to detect things such as poisons, seeing specific ailments, and all of the other issues throughout the human body with the effectiveness of the Byakugan made the Hyugas all the more invaluable as they worked in the medical field, among other things. As Boruto finally arrived, he would be greeted at the door by his cousin, Momo, who had also arrived as well, along with Tintin and Uncle Neji. Neji welcomed Boruto, asking how his day was and how he had been. Boruto liked spending time with Neji. He was always cool and had a nice, smart word to say whenever Boruto was feeling a bit down or feeling out about something in particular. Hanabi had taken off of work in time, so she was here as well. It was just waiting for Naruto to arrive. Naruto was in his office, packing his bag and preparing to leave. He had already been missing out on a lot in his family life, and now this was not something he wanted to let slip through his fingers. The door would open immediately, though, as he heard the burling voice of an old friend. "Well, Lord Seventh, love what you've done with the place." "Pervy Sage, what are you doing here?" "Well, I'm here for my goddaughter's birthday. I wasn't gonna miss it for the world, and I wasn't gonna let you miss it either." "Come on, give me some credit." "Hey, sometimes if I don't drag you out of here, you'll never leave." "But that's not the only reason I'm back in town. Have you heard the news?" "News?" "Yeah, Makeout Tactics is finally getting a movie production, and you're looking at the newest producer." "You're making a movie off of your book?" "Not just a movie, Naruto. The movie. If this becomes a hit, then I can get sequels, and sequels on top of sequels. I might even be able to work on a prequel." "A prequel? Come on. Whoever would think that a prequel would work? And you're already pushing your luck with the sequels." "Hey, my work of art is a major hit." "Yeah. And tell me, have you paid off those fines yet?" I've been meaning to get around to that." "Come on, Pervy Sage. You can't just keep popping into every bathhouse that feels your fancy. It's starting to get ridiculous. When are you gonna grow up?" You're one to talk." "So anyway, how's the paperwork?" "Tiring as ever. Honestly, I'd rather take my chances fighting Madara again than dealing with this." "Oh, now, don't go saying stuff like that. You'll jinx it." "Jinx what?" "The peace. I'll tell you, I've never seen the world like this before. It's almost unnerving." "Yeah, you're telling me. It feels like it's getting harder and harder to try to maintain it. I mean, everyone wants it, but yet it always feels like it's on thin ice. Like one false move and the whole thing could come crashing down, you know?" "Yeah, but that's what you're here for. You've all worked so hard to come this far. Don't let yourself be short-sighted in that. This world, everyone who enjoys what's in it, is all thanks to you and what your generation were able to accomplish." "Yeah, although I wonder if what we've done is for the best. I mean, things are starting to be on the decline more and more. Now it's like being a shinobi is not the popular thing, you know?" "Well, it was bound to happen at some point. The world's in a point of demilitarization. Even places like the Cloud Village don't seem to be as war-hungry as they used to be." "Yeah, but what do you think's gonna happen, well, if it continues?" "The Fire Daimyo's been on my ass about it recently." "Him again?" The daimyos always play to the voice of one, that being themselves. For them, it's always been about profit. To the shinobi, it's the bottom line. Honestly, if a war does break out, it'll probably be because of them. Yeah, you're telling me. I had to stop a recent conflict that could have started between the stone and the cloud, and the mist would have been dragged into it as well. What about Konoha? Well, we would have been neutral in the conflict, but still, it's not like I would have just been able to let it slide. Plus, the only way the mist could even aid in the conflict would be as if they had to travel through the land of fire, and that would only invite more conflict to the point where we would have had to get involved. Yes, alliances and betrayal. Always a deadly game in the world of ninja. I don't know. I just don't know what to do sometimes. First this, then Boruto. What's wrong with Boruto? He's just growing up so fast, you know. Sometimes I hardly recognize him. He's advanced far more than I was at his age. He's just living in a time I don't seem to understand all that well. Naruto, if there's one thing I can assure you, no matter what the era, no matter what happens, shinobi will always be shinobi. I believe as long as you have that faith and sentiment, then everything will work out the way it needs to. Also, by the way, Jiraiya would take a kunai and throw it at Naruto without warning. Naruto would deflect it, although Jiraiya was not impressed. Just as I thought. You've been slacking off again, haven't you? I mean, of course he has. Naruto could hear his inner voice, the voice of the Nine Tails, Kurama, sealed within him. You just had to chime in, didn't you? Because the old pervert's telling the truth. You should have been able to deflect that kunai much faster than you did. It was like you were hardly trying. Hey, I was putting my best foot forward. It's just like I thought. You're worried about the next generation. You need to be worried about yourself as well. Well, you've become too reliant on the power of the Nine Tails. It's starting to fill you with a bit of overconfidence, and I don't like it. Come on, I'm not overconfident about anything. Be mindful, Naruto. One should never overlook improvement in trying to get better. If you become too over-reliant on that power, it'll only dull your senses. In a way, it's like over-relying on a tool, don't you think? Now come on, the party's gonna be starting soon, and you know they're not gonna want to start without you. And if we're both late, Tsunade will have our head. Wait, Tsunade's coming? Naruto would say. The scene would then change to the Uzumaki household. Tsunade had arrived, along with Hinata as well, Sarada, and Mitsuki. Everything was being set and put together. And finally, the last two to arrive was Naruto and Jiraiya. Boruto was especially shocked. He expected his father to be much, much later. But he was here, and it was the real him. Everyone gathered together to celebrate Himawari's birthday. Himawari happy to have everyone she loved and cared about gathered together here at once. As she blew out the candles and everyone enjoyed the food and the cake and the festivities, Boruto couldn't help but smile. He couldn't remember the last time everyone had been brought together like this. It had been a long time. Now, Boruto never hated his father. But the title of Hokage, that was something he could live without. This was the kind of thing that was most important to him. Sure, the sentiment of everyone being in a family in a village, he understood it. He understood the importance of it. But still, how could you ever pass up something like this? The merriment, the laughter, the smiles, the hugs, the atmosphere, the good times. That just didn't really seem like something anyone should want to lose. At least, that's how Boruto thought. As the party went on, they had actually run out of a few items and needed to go to the convenience store to get more. Boruto offered to go, although Naruto said that he could have got there much faster. However, Boruto would give him a look. The guy was hardly ever around, and the fact that he was able to take off tonight said a lot, although Boruto knew the truth. He walked over to his father as he whispered, "You're gonna be pulling an all-nighter, we both know it. You should enjoy every moment you can with Himawari. She's not gonna get too many times like this." Naruto would stop for a moment, but he smiled. He thanked Boruto, as Boruto took off leaving to the store. He arrived to get what he needed and was preparing to make his way home when he walked past someone. The person was under a cloak, so he was hard to see. As Boruto bumped into him, he would apologize, but before making his way, the man would respond, "The Honorable Lord Seven's son, Boruto Uzumaki." "Yeah? So what?" "You're a gifted child. I've heard so much about you. Some could say you're kind of a legend around these parts." "Come on, I'm nothing like that. Don't sell yourself short, kid. You know, there are a lot of higher-ups in Konoha who have been keeping their eyes on you. And I must say, we're very impressed." "Really?" "Of course we are. You have so much potential. In fact, we were thinking, maybe you should be rewarded for your efforts and for all that you've done." The man would hand Boruto a box. As Boruto looked inside, he would see it was the kota. Whoa. Wait, does my dad know about this? Come on now. Your father is not as open-minded as you are. In a way, you could say that you have wisdom that's beyond even the Hokage. Because unlike him, you actually see the changes that are going on in the world. Things that even Lord Seventh cannot see. And because of that, we want you to be the one that changes his mind. The tuning exams are coming up. If you were to use this to show its true power on full display, then even the Hokage could no longer deny it, or you. You could be the one to change his mind and revolutionize the ninja culture. Just keep that in mind. We have a lot of high hopes for you, Boruto. And we can't wait to see what you become. The figure would walk off into the night, leaving Boruto alone with the kota. Boruto would keep the box to himself as he arrived back to the party, placing it in his room and continuing on with the festivities. Eventually, the party would die down and everyone would make their way home for the night. Boruto was in his room and Himawari had fallen asleep. As the final dishes were being washed, Naruto was preparing to say his goodbyes as he was heading back to the office. Hanabi grabbing him from behind as she pulled him into a kiss. "My hard-working Hokage, what will I ever do with you? Come on, don't stop me like that. Otherwise, I'll never get back to work. Aw, but I've been so lonely." You know, we haven't had time to ourselves in I don't know how long. Yeah, I know. I really do need to do a better job, don't I? I already know it's tough on the kids. Our kids are strong and understanding. Although I'd be lying if I said we don't put them to their paces. Yeah, I know it hit Boruto the worst. Although thankfully, I think we've smoothed it over for the most part. Yeah, but still, he's at a very important time in his life, Naruto. And a boy needs his father the most. You know, even though I never grew up with a mom or dad, in a way, I kind of feel like I know what it's like to grow up with a family, or at least to have close bonds. Sometimes I feel like I take you and everything I have for granted. I mean, who knows what could have happened to me, to any of us. Well, there's no need to think about that now. We have each other, and that's all that matters. We have a wonderful family and a beautiful home, a village that we love and cherish. And I know that we're not gonna lose it that easily. So keep being the strong Hokage you've always been. Do everything without hesitation, and we'll always be here for you. Hanabi would give Naruto yet another kiss. Naruto being drawn into the passion of his wife. Naruto got back to work. He might have been an hour late, but he got back there. In the meantime, the Chunin exams were just a month and a half away. For Boruto, he wondered what he was going to do. Was he going to use Dakota? Truthfully, where did Boruto stack up compared to everyone else? He didn't know for sure, and that's why there was only one place he could go to find out. You want a what? Momo would say, chewing on her gum and blowing it with ease. You heard me. You and me. One-on-one. Just like when we were little. And do you remember how it went when we were little? Boruto, you're skilled. Even if you don't have the Byakugan. I'll give you that. But you know, once we get serious, how it ends. And you want us to go all out? Come on. I wouldn't ask you to do this if I wasn't serious. The Chunin exams are coming up, and I need to know where I stand. You're one of the best in our generation right now, and I just need to see where I stack up, that's all. Hello, Boruto, Neji would say as he walked out of his home. To what do I owe the visit of my nephew? Hey, Boruto! Hideo would run out, giving his cousin a hug. Hey there, Hideo. How you been? I'm doing great. So, why'd you come all the way here? He wants to spar with your big sis, Momo would say. Really? You and big sis are gonna fight it out? What's brought this on? Neji would say. I just need to see where I am, Uncle Neji. If you don't mind, I want to spar with Momo, at least in a serious match. Well, it has been some time, and I'm free at the moment. Follow me. The kids would walk to the back of Neji's home, where an open space arena was held. I can watch over a sparring match between you two. How serious do you want it to be? I want a serious match. No holding back at all. Are you sure about this? Neji would say. Yeah. I have to know for myself. So come at me with everything you've got, Momo. Dad? If he's agreed to it, then let it be. Hideo would sit next to his father. They sat on the back patio. Boruto would place on his headband, and Momo hers as well. The two would form the unison sign as they backed away from one another. Boruto readying himself in the stance of the gentle fist, and Momo reciprocating. It's been a while since you and I have gone one-on-one. You remember what happened last time, don't you? Of course, I could never forget. And you know I've only gotten stronger since then. I'm only going to ask you this one final time. You really want to go through with this? And I'm going to tell you one final time. Bring it! Momo, are you ready? Momo would activate her Byakugan. I'm ready. Boruto, are you ready? Boruto would do the hand sign for the shadow clone, creating 4 clones behind him as they all drew their kunais. I'm ready. All right then. Neji would raise his hand into the air as he lowered it. Begin. This concludes Naruto Polaris, The Fallen Star. What if Hanabi Hyuga was born first? Part 22 of the Momoshiki arc. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue Avatar Lost Re:Zero, What If Aang Was in Re:Zero, Season 2, Part 4. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. Until next time, see you later.